Okay, are you able to unpause? Perfect, thank you. Okay, so we're recording this session and we want to review the SFUSD norms. Please have your camera on so we can see you and start building community. Mute when you're not talking to reduce feedback, and follow the participation agreements based on the activity. As for the meeting norms, please keep liberation for the oppressed at the center, be solution-oriented towards anti-racism, and be present and comfortable in discomfort. So as we enter in the content of the session, please choose one of these meeting norms that you want to focus on today. And today's outcomes. By the end of the session, participants will learn how to access Taller del Lector and Taller de Fonética digital tools available in Benchmark Universe. So SFUSD bought Benchmark Taller de Fonética and Taller de Lector for all K-5 teachers in Spanish bilingual schools. So we have those materials available. And this year, we have also added Taller del Escritor digitally only. We have a digital parking lot, and if questions come up, please add them to the digital parking lot, although there'll be time during the session to address those questions directly if you want to save them for then. And if questions come up after the session, we review the parking lot, so feel free to continue to add them there or send us an email. All right, I'm going to start by sharing this temporary access to Benchmark. We're aware that some new teachers do not have, or new teachers to the district do not have access to Clever yet, which is the platform with all the resources. Until you get your district email, you may use this temporary access to look at all the different digital tools on Benchmark. And with that said, I'm going to show you how to access Benchmark via Clever. For those who do have the Clever app running, let me get out of here and show you how to do that. Okay. So once you log into your Clever account, this is what your dashboard is going to look like. So I want you to look for the logo, the Benchmark logo, which will be under the Humanities section right here. And it looks like this, Benchmark Education Company. So when you click on that logo, it will take you to the main dashboard, which looks like this. And you have several options of the different curriculums available. Like I said, teachers have Lector, Fonética, and Escritor, okay? There's also a Benchmark Academy section in the bottom. I suggest that you start by looking at the videos here because it will give you a general sense of the program. This is a good place to start if you want to get familiar with the program. But today I'm going to show you those digital components we talked about. So I'm going to start with Taller de Fonética. So I'll look for Taller de Fonética, Benchmark Taller de Fonética right here, and Estudio de Palabras. When we click on it, this is the first thing that you're going to see. This is the dashboard, and you want to go to this left column right here and select your grade level. That's the first thing you want to do. So let's do first grade for this one. And I want to show you a couple of things because the launching units look a little different from the rest of the units. So I'm going to start by showing you the launching units of first grade. You will select that under the section that says unit right here, launch. And these are all the materials that come with those first launching units, okay? So the first thing you see here is the teacher manual. You want to open that and it'll take you to several links. If you want to find the rutinas y mini lecciones, you can go here. And I suggest that you begin with the Guía de Ritmo Sugerido because this is the planner for the whole unit. And this will give you an idea of the content that the unit covers. Okay, like as you see, for the lower grades is 3 weeks with an optional 4 weeks. Going back to those links, I want to show you the mini lessons. The mini lessons for the launching units is just one document, and you just scroll up and down and you look at the title where you have the number of the mini lesson. There's pages also for reference, pages numbers. And one thing that I want to point is that if you click not on the launching units, I'm sorry, that's in the regular units. Okay, so this is the mini lessons for the launching units. Now, if we go back to the main dashboard, let me choose another grade level so we can see. Let's do 4th grade this time. Okay, so if we choose 4th grade and unit 1, again, these are all the components that are going to be part of that unit, including assessments, student books. If we go to the teacher resources, you're going to see this looks a little different than the launching units, but every other unit is going to look exactly like that for all the grades. Okay, units 1 through 10 looks like this. And the first thing you see automatically is the Guía de Ritmo Sugerido, the unit planner. Then you have this menu on the left, and that will take you to the 3 weeks. Well, the resources, the 3 weeks. And if you click on one lesson, this is for the whole class, you'll see it's organized with the title, the student goals, materials, and the activities included for that lesson. Okay, as you can see, you have many activities to choose from. And that's the lessons for launching and units. Now, I want to show you really quick a couple of other resources. Make sure you always click on the selected grade or unit if you want to access everything else. Otherwise, it will filter materials and it'll be hard to find them. So once you do that, if you scroll down, there's a couple of things I want to show you here. Under resources, you have these songs. They're mostly for lower grades, K1, even 2nd grade, but they're here in form of video. It's called 1, 2, 3 Andrés, and an audio. Make sure you click on this little arrow to see all the options. And here you have all the letters and even some digraphs and combinaciones consonánticas, etc. You also have the audio version, which is just a playlist. Okay. So that's where you find the songs. Another resource I want to show you for the lower grades, it's the learning games. These are mostly for K1, but because they cover the basic phonic skills, which are the sounds and initial sounds, etc. Again, click on that little arrow so you can access all of them. And if we open one of them, let's do Reventar el Globo. This is what it looks like. Okay, so you press Jugar. And you're supposed to pop the balloons that have P. Okay, well, you get the idea. All right, so children have the access to, the students have access to those games also in their Clever platform. So you can assign these to them. The last thing I want to show you from Phonetica is for K5, and it's the e-pocket chart. There's a couple of ways to access it. The fastest way is to click one of the grades. Let's click 5th grade and scroll all the way down. There you'll see the e-pocket chart, okay? So when you open that, the first thing you're going to see is 3 choices: a free workspace, Elkonin boxes, or the pocket chart itself. Let's open the e-pocket chart. You can choose how many rows you want for the chart. Let's choose 4. And then you can have your pocket chart ready to go with some resources in the bottom. So if you look at these bottom sections, you have an image bank with all the sound spelling cards, okay, that you can drag. You have a word bank with some words. You have word parts, which are mostly syllables, and you can build your own. For example, it's type frío. You click done and you have that card ready to go. Or if you want to select one that's already done, let's select syllables like ma. No, if you want to do a syllable activity. Okay, let's say you get everything ready and you want to save these for your lesson when the time comes to teach the students using the e-pocket chart. You go to this little cloud right here and it says save as. Click on it, give it a name. For example, manual activity. You save it, and then if you want to access it later, it's going to show on your e-pocket chart right below it. Okay, see right here. So if you click on it, it will take you to the activity. Here I have all the ones that I've saved. Okay. There we go. So that's the e-pocket chart, and I'm going to leave you some time to do some exploration because I know this was a lot of information. And then we'll move on to the Taller de Lector resources. So let me stop sharing. If you have questions while you explore, please just post them or unmute yourself. But for now, you can explore for the next 10 minutes. And remember to use the access that Griselda posted if you don't have Clever, okay?
And while you're exploring, this is just a temporary access. So it ends at the end of this month. But by the end of the month, you should already have access to this through Clever.
Hey, I could speak. I'm writing, but I can speak too.
Hi, Lena.
Hello.
Hi, Griselda. I was on Clever, and on Clever I don't. So I follow up with you while you were showing it. But on Clever, I get a message saying that I don't have permission. But since I changed from my phone to my computer, I didn't have access to the chat before. Do you mind putting again the Clever access so I can play
Sure.
around with it? Thank you.
Yeah, we'll put it in the chat.
Yeah. It's on the chat. Yeah.
Thanks. Got it.
Okay, here it is. All right. Also, make sure when you're sending messages, make sure to address either everyone or both Griselda and I, because I'm getting direct messages while I'm presenting and I'm not able to see them.
Same here.
Hi, this is Fatima. Just to let you know, I don't have the option in my chat for everyone. I just have Griselda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us know. It's because you're
Sure.
maybe with your personal email, right?
No, I'm using my
No?
work email. Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, same here.
okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why
Same for
that's
me.
happening.
It's okay. Just either Kobe and I
Well-
will get to you if you have any questions or comments in the chat.
Yeah, we'll check and
Yeah.
try to answer it. Slides.
Hi all.
Dan, yes, thank you
Hi.
for.
Sorry, if you turn chat off and turn it back on, then you should participants should have the ability to chat with each other.
How do I turn it off?
I just clicked it off. It's gonna either be under chat or under security, the little shield at the bottom of the Zoom screen.
Okay. Security chat. Oh, I see. All right, I
Yeah.
just did that. Hopefully that.
Yes,
That
now
helped.
everybody can message each other.
Thank you,
you.
Dan.
Indeed.
Yay. Tech help. Okay, I'm gonna post the sign in again in case you joined after we posted it, and the agenda and the slides for those who joined a little later.
We have 5 minutes left of exploration.
I'm seeing a message that says to slow down. I'm sorry if I was too fast. If you have questions about anything I did, please don't hesitate asking. We're more than happy to show you again.
And also feel free to ask any questions as you're exploring right now.
I see that there are some resources like the Fonética Grados Láminas de Trabajo. Are these for us to print?
So these resources come in physical. You don't need to print those particular ones. The lámina de trabajo comes with your physical materials. So all teachers, K-5 in Spanish bilingual programs, received Fonética materials a couple years ago. So check if you haven't seen them in your classroom, if it's new classroom, I'm assuming, check with your principal or literacy coach to see if they're stored somewhere, because we did send those materials. There's also taller de lector materials in all the classrooms that we sent last year.
Thank you. I'm just began exploring them. I'm new to the grade.
Okay, yeah. No worries. Just ask whatever you need to ask.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, I see some new people joining, so I'm going to post the slides, agenda, and sign in again.
And if you're just joining us, we are exploring Taller de Fonética. Maybe we could add the temporary access as well.
Yes, if you don't have a Clever account, where you should be able to find the benchmark logo, please use this temporary access I'm posting on the chat, which will be valid till the end of the month for those who don't have access to benchmark through Clever.
We have about 2 minutes left. All right, our exploration time for Fonética is coming to an end. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to show you now Taller de Lector. This you access the same way, and if as you can see here, the layout is the same as Taller de Fonética. You have grade levels, you have units, weeks, and you have resources at the bottom. Okay, when you click on a unit, kindergarten, let's do unit 1. It gives you the resources that you need for the unit. The interactive read out louds, share reading, level text, reader's theater, and some responsive teaching toolkit. We're going to talk about that, and assessments, e-assessments. So let's start looking at the resources. One of the resources that is different than the Fonética is that Lector has leveled books for you. So if you look at the bottom here, you can see all the levels. And online, you have access to all these different levels. Of the physical materials, you only have access to the levels in your grade level. So you might have just a few. So if you want more books, you can always access the digital platform and get those books. So I'm going to show you the level books. Let's look at a level F. And as you can see here, with level F, it gives me the level text, and it also gives me reader's theater at that level. Okay, there's more here if you want. You can open the link, and it gives you more for that level. Okay, and if you want specific grade, just click on the grade and it shows you the great ones at that level. Okay, so I want to show you one of them. So I'm going to open this book. It's already open, sorry. And when I open this book, there's a lot of resources, a lot of things I can do with the book. There is tools here that I can use. I can highlight things. Okay. Unhighlight it. I can also add text if I want to, a text box, and add anything I need to remember to talk about las flores de mi abuela. Okay. And you can save all your changes that you make by clicking here. To change the page, you just click on the bottom and it goes to the next page. You can see here that there's some like little lines. That's to do some close reading or for students to take notes. If you are talking about closed syllables, you can ask your students as you're reading, write down some of the closed syllables words that you see here. Or if you're doing cognates, whatever you're working on, you can have your students write that there. Or if you're working on questions, asking questions while you read, students can write their questions here as they're reading. Another thing that these level books have, they have, if you look here at the little apple, teacher resources. It comes with the teacher's guide. This teacher's guide gives you the letter again. It gives you a lesson or lessons to do with your students. It gives you information, general information about the book, the genre, a lexile. It gives you a short summary. Okay. And once you click on Sección 1 or Sección 2, the actual lessons, it gives you at the bottom, it gives you prompts that you can use based on the behaviors that you see your student doing while reading. And if you scroll up and you click here, it gives you a menu. Tarjetas de preguntas. It shows you comprehension questions that you can do. You can ask your students, okay? And I know sometimes we don't have time to read the whole book, although, you know, it's recommended to read the book before. You have possible answers here. So you have the question and possible answers for that. And you have the book, right? You also have imprimir, which is you can print out the questions. It has the questions here. If you're doing an activity and you need to print out the questions for your students, then you can print them out here. Okay. I'm going to go back to the book because I forgot to show you another cool thing. That it can read it to you. So you can start reading. It could read the whole story to you. Can you hear? Can you hear the audio?
No, I don't think we can hear it.
Okay. Let me stop sharing so that you can hear. Not share again. I need to share my audio. There you go.
Una.
You can read the whole book, or if there's a word that you want your students to
El
learn
emperador.
and just read that word, you can just click on it and it reads it for you. Sometimes this is not activated with the book, so you have to check which ones your students are able to listen to. Yeah. Let me go back. So that's it for the leveled readers. Now I'm going to show you assessments. So let me unclick everything because sometimes you have to, it doesn't show you any resources if you have filters. So you have to make sure that you clear everything. And I want to show you the assessments now. We have, well, there's a few assessments here. Evaluaciones periódicas, which is assessments that are given 4 times a year. You have assessments de la unidad. Okay, I'm going to choose a grade so I don't get all the different ones. Let's look at first grade. And you have the unit assessments for all the units. Let's do unit 1. Okay. And I want this one. This is so after semana uno, unidad uno, there's an assessment. There's an assessment after every week of lessons. But I want to do after the end of the unit. When I open that, see if they can hear that. We can hear that. It gives the students a short video on how to use this assessment, how to access the assessment. And you could do it in Spanish, in English or Spanish. And then they begin the test. Test is questions and multiple choice. Okay. Now I have one more thing I want to show you. I'm going to click everything. Let's see. Now I want to show you La Lección, the responsive teaching toolkit. This responsive teaching toolkit has a lot of resources. It has metas personales de aprendizaje, which is goal setting for your students. And as you can see here is by grade level. So if you have some students, you can use these with any student. If you have students that are, reading at lower levels, you can check out the metas de aprendizaje for those grades and see if you can use them with your student. There's also posters that you can use, the conversaciones, apoyar. So that's I can't think of the word. What do we call them? The adding.
Apoyar.
No, apoyar, the conversation prompts that you're using with students. I can't think of the word right now.
Añadir.
Añadir. Yes, but there's a special. If I think about it, it'll come back to me. But I want to show you something else, something really cool. The ayuda entre compañeros. When you open that resource here, it's by levels. Okay, so if I open, let's open a level A. I'm going to scroll down because you have to look down. So as this is for an informational text, it's organized by levels and by either fiction or nonfiction. So informational text, this is an activity that students can do while reading, if they're reading with a partner. It gives you a menu of things to do. So this is kindergarten, so it's very like a lot of visuals. The font is big for them to see. And so they choose an activity that they want to do. Of course, after you've probably covered every single activity a couple of times, and they can do it independently. And then they get together with they collect the read, they read and collect the evidence. They get together with a partner and then they reflect on it together, and then they can write. They write about what they read. So let's look at one for upper grades. So that was for K, nonfiction. Let me show you. Let's do Q level. And let's do an informational text as well, so we can compare it. The strategies students are using here are more complex, right? Comparar y contrastar los textos que tú y tu compañero han leído. So they do the same thing. They choose an activity from the menu, they read, then they share with a partner, they reflect, and they do some reading. So, I mean, some writing. The writing can be done in there if they have a writing journal. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing here because that was a lot too. And we're going to give you 10 minutes to explore now taller de lector. And remember, during exploration time, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask your questions.
Yeah, you may unmute yourself, or you can add them to the chat or to the digital parking lot. I just posted the link to the parking lot on the chat.
All right, sign-in link, yes, here you go. If you didn't sign in, please sign in.
How do we sign in?
Sign into benchmark or sign in as in the presentation?
Yeah, because I have a hard time getting in, and I finally got in through my tablet, but because I was using a Chromebook.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you need the credentials.
yes,
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna put it in the chat for you.
thank you.
Mhm. We have 4 minutes left.
Okay, time's up for exploration, but I want to address a couple things in the chat. So if you can access the links that we're posting on the chat, and you were able to access the agenda, let's see. Rosa, I'm going to share the agenda directly with you, okay? Let's see. So check your
Thank you.
email. Yeah, check your email.
Great. Thank you.
Sure. And all the links are in there, in that agenda, including the access to benchmark. I just put it in there. And also we have a request to show again how to access the assessment after finishing reading a book. Grisela, you want to show how to access the assessment again? What, Lina, can you clarify what you mean by when finishing reading a book?
It's when I finish reading the book, I cannot go straight to an assessment. I need to close the book and then go to assessment.
Yes, there are two different sections. So the reading level book that Grisela was showing, it's one resource, and you have to get out of there, go back to the main dashboard, and then go back to the assessment. But we can show you. Do you want to show them again?
Yeah,
The assessment? Yeah.
Okay, I'm back on Clever. Let me unselect everything. The assessments. So I just want to clarify something. So it's not per book that you're giving an assessment. The assessment is for the end of the unit. Okay, and to
So Griselda, now it makes sense. Okay. It's not
Okay.
per books. It's not, okay. I can access the questions at the end of the book, and I can go through questions and assess with the questions, but I cannot assess through a book. That's, you just answered my question. Thank
okay,
you very much.
yeah, great.
Yeah, because each unit has 3 weeks. So there's assessments for week 1, for week 2, and then week 3 is an assessment of the whole unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it makes
Not
sense. Thank you.
necessarily of the book. Yeah.
Okay, are there any other questions? This is a time for questions and answers. That was a good question. I need to clarify that. Thank you, Lena.
Yeah, don't be scared of asking questions. We know that this is a lot, and if it's new to you, it takes time to
Yeah,
understand
we're
where everything
still learning
is.
it too, so.
Yeah, we're definitely still figuring it out.
All right, if there's no questions, I have a few questions. So what digital components do you find interesting and see it in your classroom? You can either unmute yourself or type it in the chat. I know a lot of you are still exploring, I can see. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fine too. But if you want to talk about which of these components caught your eye and you're like, oh yeah, this is something I can definitely do in my classroom.
How would you use it in your classroom?
As usual, I'm going to speak.
Go ahead, Lena.
I just, because I'm using Raskids, I've been using Raskids for many, many years. And because I had access to the Spanish book this way, I really love so far. It's a little complex for me to navigate, but I think it's like everything. Raskid is super child friendly. You just go from one page, read the book, have a question, but this, and then you pay if you want a little more, and then you learn to use it. I really like what I've seen so far. I really like that there's all the little videos for sound, which I always have to use different tools to get to that. It seems like the platform is getting a lot of things from different places and they put everything together, which is nice. I think I need to do more exploring, and I hope I'm going to have access, because since I'm not a teacher, I need to figure out how I'll get access after that. But you say I have it for a month with
Yes.
Toller.
Are
So
you what's your role?
I'm a speech and language pathologist.
Okay, speech and language.
So it might be why, because I don't have one grade level. I need access to all the platform and every level, so I can work from A to Z.
What school are you in again?
At Dolores Huerta.
Dolores Huerta. Okay. We can find out. We don't know who has access right now besides
Yes.
teachers and coaches, but we can ask. And
Thank
we
you.
can send
And
you an
I see
email.
Fatima just posted, and Fatima is also a speech and language pathologist, bilingual.
Fatima.
And there's, yeah.
Yeah.
So she's
Thanks, Lena.
Where's Fatima? What's your last name, Fatima?
I'll type it in the chat.
Thank
to
you.
Directly, yeah.
I'll take your names and see if we can add you.
I have a question. How do I assign activities to the students? I've been looking at the dashboard and I see on the top here it says assignments, reports, manage students, but I can't find my students. Is it not linked yet, or how
Correct.
do I
There's
link?
Yeah, they're still not uploaded. We wanted to show how to do the assignments, but for that very same reason, we're still not able to, because the lists have not been populated for the school year yet.
Okay.
But once you have your student list, you should be able to see your students on Benchmark also.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Right.
All right. Should we move on to resources?
Actually, I have one question. I'm
Oh,
an
yeah.
RSP teacher, and so I'll have some of my younger kids, I work with them in Spanish, and I don't think that I will be automatically populated. I don't have a classroom, so to speak, and my class list is generated in SACE. Is there a way I would be able to add my students, even though they may already be populated with their actual classroom teacher?
Do we know the answer to that?
We don't right now because we
Okay.
can't access, we don't have access to students. So we
Okay.
can't show you, but we'll find out
Yeah, we
and
can
then
ask.
maybe either put it up in a new PD or do a quick video and send it out to everyone.
Okay.
So
great.
you're asking to have the students that are already in a classroom with a teacher to be added to your own account,
Correct.
right?
Correct, yes.
We
Yes.
can
See, is
ask.
there
Yeah.
RSP teacher?
Yeah, RSP. And my students aren't necessarily at their grade level. They're getting kind of exposure through their teacher, but they're probably like a grade or two behind.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would
Yeah,
want.
once you have access online, you have access to all grade levels, all the
Okay,
curriculum.
yes, correct. Yeah, I just wanted to see if I could add them to
Right.
one of my
Yeah.
students. I can give them assignment.
What's your name and what school are you in?
Roberto Mejia, Bryant Elementary School.
Brian. Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
we'll ask.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. There's no more questions, we're going to continue. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So, all right. So for the last part of the meeting, we just want to share some resources and we'll close the session with the feedback form. This is a document we recommend that you have handy at all times because here we have the links to all the benchmark resources. I want to show you one of them. Let me open that. Actually, I'm on the wrong screen. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. So I want to show you the benchmark planning templates. I want to point you to that because we've created sample lesson for the launching units. As you notice, there's a lot of different activities within one day. So we've gone through those activities for the launching units and for the first unit of each grade level for both Fonética and Lector. And we've created a sample plan that you can use or adapt. So let me show you that. The document where we have all those links. Looks like this. It's the first one on that benchmark planning templates. And I want to show you the, let's go to the kinder phonics, and I'll show you a fifth grade for lector. So for phonics, this is the planning template. I'm going to go straight to the estrenemos, which is the launching units. And here you can see the 3 weeks and a 4th optional week. And the activities we've selected. We've selected these activities with a specific structure. We want to anchor all of them in the reading, in la lectura. So there's a reading that you can use the whole week and use that as your anchor for the other lessons. And there's also some rutinas, which this will help setting the classroom norms and all the structures that you need for your phonics lessons. So the links take you straight to the rutinas, and this will take you straight to the reading. Okay, so as you can see, there's 5 days per week, and the structure is very similar. You have that rutina, the reading, and a couple of activities. And we've selected these activities with the, we call them essential activities, thinking of how Spanish work, and with the lectoescritura idea of how Spanish is taught. So that's why we include things like escribir el nombre and, you know, and also the listening piece, the ABC, all right? And always anchored to the reading. So we try to add a little bit of everything to make sure we cover what's most important in Spanish. We also have Unit 1 created, but these are the 2 samples we made, okay? But if you want to start with the launching units for the beginning of the school year, maybe this is a place to start and look at what we've created. And for 5th grade, let me show you 5th grade for Taller del Lector. It's the same structure, okay? We've created, even though in benchmark, you're going to see that they only have 2 weeks for Taller del Lector and Taller de, for Taller de Fonética in the upper grades, they only have 2 weeks, but we wanted to be consistent K-5, so we created 3 weeks, okay? And 1 optional one. And like, as you see, again, you have the reading first thing, and then you have the mini lesson and the routine. It's very simple and straightforward. These are the launching units for lector. And again, we have the first unit also planned out, selecting those essential activities from benchmark. All right, so I know we're running out of time, so I'm going to get out of here and stop sharing so I can go back to the closing moves. Okay, so need to share the other screen. Here we go. So if you're a coach or an artist and you want to request access through Clever, fill out this form. For the other roles, like Fatima and Lina and Roberto, we'll find out if we can add you, and we'll let you know. But if you're a coach, an IRF, or an artist, you can fill out this form and request access to benchmark through Clever. The next thing we want to say before we leave, we have an upcoming PD in August 15. We will cover more benchmark topics, and here are the times for the different grade levels. And finally, we would love to get your feedback to continue improving. So if you can take a couple of minutes to fill out the feedback form, that would be great. And last but not least, this is our contact information. So please, please don't hesitate contacting us. We're here to support you. And this is our email addresses. So please send us an email if anything comes up.
Thank you so much for joining us. The feedback form is in the chat, so please give us some feedback.
And good luck with the beginning of the school year, everyone.
Yes, suerte, suerte.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you putting everything like this together for us. It's a tremendous help. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Amir, I think you just made my day worth of it. Thank you for that.
Yay, that's awesome.
A
Oh,
lot
that's
of
good to hear.
training these past few days, and I'm super excited that I'm like, yes, I learned something new.
Yay.
Good,
Thank you,
good,
thank
good,
you, both
good.
of you.
Thank
See you
you.
later.
Thank you, Lena.
Adios.
Adios.
That's awesome. Thank you. Those of you that are put in the chat, we appreciate every single one of you.
Yeah, thank you for
Yes.
being
Thank
here.
you,
We, yeah, we know
I'm
that it
joining
was.
the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you're going to Dolores Huerta? You say?
Griselda, I think you were at Dolores Huerta, right?
I
Yeah, so I
was.
joined Dolores Huerta as a staff member, as the ELD teacher. So
Oh,
Awesome.
the last time I was in immersion, I think benchmark was being piloted at Dolores Huerta, and so
Yeah.
I've never actually taught with it. So it's just a good base for me to know what the teachers are doing. So great job, like organizing the info, super comprehensible.
Thank you.
Wish I would have had that. back in
Right?
the day. I'm like, what? I mean, like, that's a really nice combination of like scripted curriculum, but also like workshop model, like finally like easy to use, easy to read. So thank you so much for just putting it together really easily. Do you think I can put in a form for as coach, just so that I understand what teachers are using in Spanish as I make the transfers to English as the ELD teacher? So that I can just see like, what you've added for us for just the samples today, would I be able to also apply?
Put your
You
name
can-
down
yeah.
and
We can
Okay.
ask.
we'll check in with our
Okay, cool.
supervisor. Yeah,
So I'll fill out that form that you've added for lit coaches. And
yeah.
stuff. So, okay, cool.
Perfect.
Griselda,
Thank
good luck. Is this
you.
your first year in this position?
No, it's my
Or-
second year,
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, but I'll
Well,
see you around. I'll go visit.
Definitely, please do. Okay, bye, ladies. Thank you so
Adios.
much.
Thank you, Anna.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, I'm gonna stop recording. Okay.